We're seeing you here on Law and Order, Organized Crime, which has received such accolades, and people were so excited to have it start. Was this an audition that came to you, or something that you found along the way?
So my manager reached out to me and said that the casting director for Law and Order Organized Crime wanted to present me to the producers as one of the leads. And I was confused because I was like, so what's the audition? And she was like, there's no audition. She's like, they just want to present you. The casting director, he previously cast me in Chicago Med as a her. So I had did an episode. I had only done one episode so far, and then he's seen some of my other work on some of the other series that I was on. So I guess that was enough for him to present me to the producers, and Dick Wolf signed off on me. And so I didn't really have to audition for it, which was crazy to me. It took a long understand, like, oh, I'm on this show. It's like a whirlwind. But I feel very grateful, very, very grateful.
How was Ayana originally described to you, if you can recall?
What did you say?
How was Ayana originally described to you, if you can recall?
Oh my gosh. I think she was described as like no nonsense, very, strong woman, but with a soft side, with a compassionate side. The only thing in the description of her character, it was basically that she was a sergeant, and that she was kind of like, no nonsense, and knew how to get the job done type of thing.
My goodness. Well, it's incredible to see her working alongside veteran actor and veteran officer, Elliot Stabler. Yeah. What did that mean to you?
It was really cool. I mean, Chris has been like really awesome since the onset. As soon as I found out that I got the role, he texted me and was like, hey, can't wait to meet you. Can't wait to work with you. Welcome to the family. So that made me feel, a little bit more peace about coming in, to this huge show, and this, Law and Order is like Law and Order, so it was
really nice,
like welcome me. He's so cool to work with. We have a really great rapport between the two of us, and he is a veteran actor. He's 20 years older than me. He's been in the business much longer than me, so I glean as much as I can, from him. And I love how we work together to, make the scenes really great between the two of us. And, it's really fun. It's really great working with him.
You are a part of social media. What kind of fan feedback have you been receiving to your time on the series?
Oh, it's been so positive, which I really appreciate. The fans, they love the show. They love my character. I engage with them, as much as I can, and they really are very, very appreciative of that. And so that's really nice. Every Thursday I try to tweet with them, while the show is on, and they seem to really love that. I'm very appreciative of the fans, because without them, we wouldn't have a show, and, it would be much harder to have a career without people that will actually watch and support what you do. So right. I'm very grateful for that.
My goodness, the show just gets better and better episode after episode. Is there something that continues to challenge you, though, about playing Ayana?
I feel like I think the biggest challenge is just making sure that I am playing her as a human being. I think that once the show is going on for so long, and you're doing kind of the same thing every week, with actors, you're doing the same thing every day, week after week, and it's 22 episodes. So the biggest challenge is making sure that I'm being honest as an actor, and that I'm putting in the work that I need to put in, for this character to come to life, and that it doesn't just become this mundane thing that I'm like, okay, I'm going to work and I'm going to stand on my mark and say these lines. You know what I mean? It's like really thinking about who my character is and the trajectory of where she's going, and even thinking about who I am as a person and what I can put into my character, you know, in light of who I am as a woman. Because the more that I put in to my character, the more vulnerable I am, the more to life she becomes, you know. So I think that's the biggest challenge, you know, just making sure that you're being honest, you know, with what you're given, and these, you know, these scenes and stuff, that you're not just kind of like going through the motions.
Exactly. Have you had any input then in how Ayana continues to develop, or maybe have the writers sought out something about you that they wanted to incorporate into her?
Well, I mean, I've talked to Eileen several times, and, you know, she's very open with, she loves Ayana, you know, she writes for her a lot. And, you know, I've spoken to Eileen about, you know, concerns I've had. You know, I am an actress, and a lot of the things, you know, I'm not a cop in real life. Sensitive to that, and I'm not a lesbian in real life, so I want to be sensitive to that, you know. And so these are things that, you know, that we talk about, and, you know, they definitely want to continue to develop Ayana even more, and her family life, and where she's from. And so I'm super excited, you know, to see what continues to come along. I'm really excited about this Ayana Bell, Congressman Kilbride storyline, and, you know, see how that plays into the Marcy killers and all that kind of stuff. So it's exciting.
Well, like I said, it just gets better and better every episode. I mean, has there been a favorite episode you've worked on, or maybe one that you want people to look out for coming soon?
Well, so far in this season, episode 3 was really, really cool. I love that episode because I felt like I got a lot of really good scenes, where they were like character based and not like procedural based. So that was really fun for me. This episode tonight is a really great episode as well. And there was another one, I think it was episode 5. Oh, episode 5 was fun because I got to dress up. In my career so far, I have always played a detective, you know, a deputy, somebody in law enforcement, and we're not all the time are we able to be like glamorous. You know, the first show I was on was called Rebel, and I was a detective, or like a PI, and she got to be fly, but in a different way, like not in a glamorous way, you know, like, so being able to like wear a dress and heels and like have my makeup done and my hair all big, that's who I am, like in real life. So that was really fun in episode 5 to be able to be a little bit more glamorous. So it's fun.
You did mention that, you know, this character represents the LGBTQ community. What kind of fan response have you received to that? And what kind of maybe research or advice did maybe the writers discuss with you about this particular part of the portrayal?
Well, it's been very positive so far. Everybody has been, you know, very positive and said they really love that, you know, Ayana, that I'm able to portray a character that kind of speaks to that community, you know, and represents that community. And I think representation is so important, you know, as a Black woman, it is super important. So I can understand how it would be important for the LGBTQ community as well. I feel very honored to be a person who's able to stand in that space, you know, to be an ally, to play, you know, in my mind, Ayana is a woman, you know, and I think it's important that people of, you know, different genders, people of different nationalities and races, and people of different sexual orientations are seen as people first, because that's what we are, like, regardless of what our sexual orientation is or what our skin color is, we're humans, and we all feel the same things at different times, regardless of what we believe, regardless of what we, you know, what we do in our lives. And that is what is important to me as an actor to play, is to play a human being with flaws and dreams and hopes and failures. Like, that is what makes it fun for me. So it doesn't matter to me that she's a cop or that she's a sergeant. It doesn't matter to me that she's gay. Like, it just matters that she is who she is. And all those things encompass who she is, you know? So as long as I'm playing that fully, that makes me happy. So far, everybody is really, you know, encouraging.
Good. What do you think it is about organized crime, or even just Law and Order in general, that continues to make this series such a fan favorite?
You know, honestly, I think it's, well, first of all, with SVU, you know, which has been a staple for so many years, you know, I think it really speaks to people who are survivors of, you know, sexual abuse and things like that. And as somebody who experienced, you know, sexual abuse at a very young age in my life, you know, having a show like that, you know, speaks to that group of people, and where people are able to see justice being served for people who have gone through that type of thing, I think is really important. You know, there's a lot of women and men as well, but exponentially a lot of women who have been molested, who have been raped, who have been assaulted. You know, it's just, unfortunately, it's a sad truth about the world that we live in. And I think this show, SVU especially, really speaks to people in that way and makes them feel heard and seen. And even if in their specific situation there wasn't justice, at least they can see on TV that, you know, that there are people who are getting justice. And then with organized crime, I think, you know, people love Chris Maloney, they love Stabler. So I think that's a part of it. But then also, you know, we have really great writers on our show. We have really great cameramen. The DP on our show is amazing. Like, it's gritty. And it's another situation where you get to see people getting justice. You get to see human people in a human experience. So even our villains, you can relate to, you know, it's because everybody's not perfect. You know, people are not, nobody's perfect. And I love the fact that Dylan McDermott, you know, Dash, all these Vinny, all these Lolita, all these people who are villains, they get an opportunity to play like human people who have chosen a certain path because that's all they knew, you know. And even though it's not the best path, I think we can all relate to that. So yeah, I think that's what makes it special.
Have you been busy working on any other projects, or is organized crime kind of a full-time job?
Well, it is a full-time job. Between Law and Order Organized Crime and me being a mom, that is like, those are the two biggest jobs. But you know, I'm also working on other things. I actually executive produced a short film not too long ago called It Burns Going Down. So we're in post-production for that, trying to get that ready to go out to some film festivals. So I'm excited about that. I have a one-woman play that I'll be doing this next summer, 2022. So I'm super excited about that. And I'm doing some music and stuff. So I'm trying to stay creative outside of going to work every day.
What would you like to say then to everyone who are fans and supporters of the wonderful work that you do?
I'm just very grateful. Like, I'm so grateful just for where God has brought me, you know, being from Sacramento, California, and, you know, just having a dream and trying to follow that. And I'm super, you know, grateful to everyone who watches the show, who sends me messages. You know, I know sometimes people send me messages on Instagram and they're like, oh, I don't know if you'll ever get this, but I do get them. You know, I'm not able to respond to all of them, but I appreciate all of you guys. I appreciate all of the support and encouragement, because even a person that's in my position, sometimes we feel like we're not doing enough, we're not good enough. And, you know, when people reach out and say how much, you know, they appreciate us, it makes us, you know, want to go on another day. So thank all of you guys so much for that.